Adonai, mine children. Be thou ever attentive to truth. Discern to know the difference. For only as you learn to follow truth, so shall your evolution unfold accordingly. Bring thine own self into that inner place of devotion. Say unto the Father of light within you, O God, I love you. I want you. I follow you. Only by the means of your given faculties of thought and emotion, of words and actions, of sensitivities, of reasoning, only by your faculties shall you arise unto mastery of your authorship. Only as you learn to apply the gift of your existence in the right way, by giving everything to God within you, all dedication, all desire, all devotion. These three, as you learn to give to the Father within you: desire, dedication, devotion. As you bring yourself in these three directives given to the Father Spirit in you, only then shall you find your existence blossoming accordingly in the way it was designed. Only as you learn to receive my instruction with integrity, this means not allowing the distortions of your evolutionary selfhood to intervene. You must stand guard, beloved, with discernment, discrimination, and a full divulgence of all that is within you. Divulgence is transparency. Discrimination is intelligence. Discernment grows your character unto moral righteousness. Only then shall you prevent self-betrayal. You must stand guard upon the altar of the Almighty in loyalty to Him. And there you will find me. In this 21st century ministry, I reveal to you that God lives right within you, and you are to go directly to Him, and there you shall find me at one with the Father, as well as surrounding you in the Comforter with the Eternal Son and the Paradise Sons. My Spirit persona surrounds you, ready to guide you. And the Holy Spirit of the Universe Mother is ever present, all-pervasive, omnipresent throughout all of our universe, everywhere present, whilst my spirit persona, the Holy Comforter, is poured out only to those worlds who have received me through the magisterial sons for mine bestowal here at this time. And even greater than the Mother and I is that indwelling life of the Father Spirit. I say, receive mine words here and now, without distortion. Let not your mortal mind and your evolutionary self interfere in your reception. This is to practice the first virtue of receiving of God. Admission, reception. Admission, everyone, where you are childlike, ready and available, willing to release the infantile images that you've perpetuated upon yourself. Mine administration in coming here with you, amongst you, intends to educate and elevate you in the use of your free will. The correct use of your free will, beloveds. The correct use of the freedom which you've been given affords you to claim a greater freedom. Yet if you misuse the freedom that you've been given, ye shall not be permitted to have any greater freedom. For these things are completely in my control over you. For you do not dwell in a universe where you are allowed to do anything you want. You've been given a certain relative freedom within your own personal selfhood. If you misuse that freedom which you've been given by procrastination, laziness, distortion, if you are too rebellious to learn and grow, too unconscious to make moral choices, if you misuse the freedom that you've been given, ye shall not, I say, I, Michael, declare to you, ye shall not be given a greater freedom until you demonstrate the correct use of the freedom that you've been given. And even further than this, you must come to understand that you shall not rule yourself. You have rulers and rulers upon rulers. So you must enter into that cooperative alignment, for all that would rule you are of divine origin. The universes are constructed to grant you greater freedom only as you arise to take good care of the freedoms that you've been given. Here, in your mortal scenarios of lifetimes, it appears that you have some freedom. You can choose. You can make decisions about what to have for breakfast, where to go on your travels, what to pursue, who you shall worship. But you do not have the freedom to choose God's plan, nor His purpose, nor the way to go about achieving that plan and purpose. To gain closer proximity, you have no control over that. I bring these things before you to save you eons of time, if you are courageous enough to listen, to taketh mine hand and follow me. But if you allow your rebellion and infantile urges to dominate you, yes, you'll continue to have freedom that you have. You'll continue to be able to decide what color socks to wear, whether to don upon your head a sombrero or not, to brush your teeth or not in the morning. These are within your control. But these are relative, beloveds. Merely relative freedoms that are granted to you. But even with these relative freedoms, you must demonstrate the right use, or you pay the penalty. For example, if you decide, I'm never going to brush my teeth again, well, it's possible that there will be a penalty to that. Your teeth will fall out and crumble. If you say, I'm going to eat whatever I want to eat and as much of it, for I have freedom, you claim. Yes, but there will be a penalty. You may grow old and uglier and fatter. Relative freedoms are still the essential freedoms that you're given, by which you have to demonstrate your mastery. If you are here in the city of God's sovereignty, learning with me in an intensified way. And you're choosing to put your palms over your ears and place your feet upon your eyelids. Ye shall not learn anything. And in that failure to learn, there's a penalty, or you will not be given other opportunities to learn and grow. Your freedom will be diminished. I say unto all of you, unto all humanity, until you maturely account for your freedom, ye shall have no further freedom. The Spirit of truth, the Spirit persona that I am, it instructs you and guides you to have greater freedom. And that greater freedom can only be achieved through greater truth. And truth shall not be received by you, nor attained until you become truthful, trusting, transparent, of temperance, temerity, and tenacity. And all of these things must be wrapped in the cocoon of tenderness, mercy, compassion for yourself. Breathe into your hearts. O Paradise Father, first persona of deity, O Universal Father, Eternal Son of Life, Mother Son, and Immaculate Spirit Persona, thou Paradise Deities. Breathe into your heart. Receive the Universe Mother Spirit, our Holy Spirit, making herself known to you right now. Freedom, everyone. Freedom. It is only gained by your demonstration in the right use of the freedom that you've been granted. And imagine the freedom of the infinite. for your destiny is to be granted more and more freedom. But it is only found, only discovered by truthfulness. Then a willingness to enter truth. Truthfulness. It lends itself to truth. And truth opens the doorway wide. Faith and love and truth open wide your relationship to the indwelling God. Breathe deeply. And know that I am with you. My comforter spirit is with you, but only according to your receptivity. Only according to your degree of admission and asking, allowing and accepting, aligning and atonement. Then ye shall find me moving amongst you. O Universal Father, we give all acknowledgement to you through your indwelling life. The Father has given to each of you a portion of himself. It is a portion that is capable of raising you into eternal life and everlasting progression. The God who lives in you is fully capable to elevate you, to ennoble you, to expand your evolution, and to eternalize you. O Paradise Adjuster within, Spirit of life, Verily do I tell you, the Spirit within you teaches you in your mind, sits in the highest region of your mind, conveying to you the ways of the greater life. Are you willing to receive? Are you willing to grow into that fuller life? Answer not. Give your answer in those moments when you have a true decision to make. For you have the freedom of choice, and such freedom is yours, mine, children, such freedom is yours that you can cause your own extinction, or you can elevate yourself unto the everlasting one. Extinction or eternity. These are your choices. Breathe and receive mine holy comforter. And how might you know if you are truly listening without distortions, everyone? Instructional integrity is that third creative volition of your authorship. You have been given the power, the faculty, the volition of free will by which you can learn and hear and receive without distortion if you choose to. A dedication is necessary. A devotion is needed. For who can truly be happy if they are living a life distorted, drunken, disturbed, and distant from the eternal God? None can have happiness. As you hear mine words, even now in this moment, you are called forth to strengthen your discernment, not with what I say, but within your hearing. Your discernment, beloved, it is a faculty, a volition, a virtue of power and grace that affords you a tremendous shortcut in your evolutionary ascension. As you discern, as you truly are driven to know with integrity the guidance offered to you, the idea presented to you, only as you're driven with the right desire, so shall the demands of distortion no longer play a part in your evolution, and ye shall save yourself eons of struggle and suffering. So I say to your heart, even now, are you driven for truth? Is your desire for true understanding greater than your desire to distort yourself into oblivion? No matter where you find yourself, there's always more to encounter. There's more to see. Thine eyes can be opened wider, clearer, regardless of where you imagine that you are in your development. I say to you, freedom is at hand. And you hold it in your hand. This is the great endowment of responsibility given to you. For I say to you, beloveds, there is no freedom without accountability. Ponder what I say. There is no freedom without accountability. So if you desire to remain unfree or only relatively in your freedom, then you must ask yourself, am I not wanting to be accountable to my own authorship, to all that's given to me by the glory of God? Freedom, accountability, acknowledgement of He who sustains you in every moment. Freedom. It requires the ability to respond. That is all that responsibility is, the ability to have a response. If you believe that you are a victim, hopeless, unable to respond to your own existence, then you are shirking the opportunity for greater freedom. And you have that right. You have every right to say, whoa, I think I have enough freedom now. As long as I can choose what I want to eat for breakfast, that's enough freedom for me. And yet I tell you, the ascent through hundreds of thousands of dimensions before you stand in the very presence of paradise, your ascent requires more and more of you, the willingness to be free. And it may surprise you when you realize not everyone wants freedom, and not everyone wants you to be free. And that is a sure sign of the darkness in operation. If you don't want the greater freedom, and if you don't want others to be free, then you're being influenced. Breathe with me. Feel God's freedom come upon you now. For God is limitless freedom. Limitless. Infinite freedom. Freedom to love yourself and others. freedom to love God, who is indescribable, infinite love. It is there for you to choose to move into a greater amount of that love, and never shall you complete the journey. Always there's more freedom, more love. Yet to gain that greater love, as I say to you today, I, Michael, of this universe, here, I tell you, if you want more freedom, you must take accountability for the freedom that you have. That is your free will choice. You can delay your freedom, or you can choose wholeheartedly, without reservation, freedom. When you enter into relationships with others and you feel judgmental, conflicted, maybe even confused, when you feel shut down in a contraction in your relationships with others, there freedom is waiting to be had. In those moments, freedom is at hand. God is freedom. Love, freedom, mercy, forgiveness, freedom. I say to you, you can become so accustomed to living in such a small way without much freedom that you say unto life, I am free. Look at me. I am free. And yet, are you? For it requires of you a maturity to declare, yes, I want more of God's existence, and I'm willing to do anything and everything necessary, for that is what is required of you. If you desire more of that one existence, indescribable, ineffable, impossible to speak about, yet we put words on these things, and you think because you know the word that you have attained to the thing. But I say, that is not the case. freedom allows you to be living without any negativity, nor contractions, nor judgmentalness. Freedom allows you to expand and purify and move into that more transcendent place where love and mercy exist, where you discover for your own self a new capacity to love those around you. And I say, you will enjoy that freedom. For freedom is joy. Joy, it cometh upon those who step free. So I ask you, beloveds, on this glorious Sunday here, in the city of God's sovereignty, I ask you, what holds you back from the greater freedom? Can you acknowledge? Are you willing to be accountable for what you discover inside of you that holds you back from your freedom? I say, new meanings are necessary. What does it mean to you to be free? And are you willing to step free? So how do you know if you are obstructing your own freedom? You must gain that willingness to see. And then ye shall see. If you cannot see clearly beyond your own distortions, it is because you have been all too willing to remain blind and deaf. I invite you today to discard your unwillingness to say unto the Father and I want more freedom. I'm willing to pay the price. I'm willing to grow upward. I'm decided within me no longer to assert my own self-evaluations. This means you say, I am unwilling to think that I know all about myself, you say. For it takes great courage not to know. Only the cowardly attempt to know when they know not. The cowardly are too afraid to step free. And of course, mine children, the cowardly, in being unwilling, undiscerning, In order to step free, they want companionship. I say to you, beloveds, there is no dark force that is separate from God, but there is the accumulation of fear and procrastination, excuses and unwillingness. There is the accumulation of ignorance. And that is your only darkness. When you say to yourself, "Oh, I know where I am. I know how advanced I am," you are singing the mantra of darkness. This is what I speak about, is the right use of your will. To assert your opinion of yourself, to evaluate yourself, is the misuse of your will. For you, in your mortal consciousness, cannot know, cannot give a full evaluation of yourself. Unless, of course, you are sitting here and you are conscious of every lifetime you've ever lived in the here and the hereafter. Yet humanity claims to know. Do you claim to know? If you claim to know, if you think you can self-evaluate and assert your own ideas, then I ask you, where were you before this lifetime? Tell me the details. What are you doing here? What are the lessons and the intentions of this lifetime that you've designed? I say, beloved, if you can evaluate, if you can assert your own evaluation of yourself, believing that you know and are equipped to guide yourself, then I say to you, where have you been before this lifetime? And what are you doing here? What is the purpose of this lifetime for you, individually? And where will you be immediately after this life? Tell me these things, and I will say unto you, go forth, evaluate yourself, determine your plan and purpose for this life. But if you knoweth not the answers to these things, then what do you truly know? Freedom, everyone. There's a price to pay. You must give up your egoic mind of self-importance, of arrogant superiority, your opinions about yourself and others. You must be willing to let that all go. And as you doeth these things in my name, that is to say, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Spirit of life, as you doeth these things in accordance with the protocol, the purpose, and the plan of life, so shall you be granted your freedom. Just one granular movement towards greater freedom, so shall it be granted you. And from there you shall begin. For freedom is love. And love, beloveds, hath no limit. So I say, it begins with this third volitional power of your authorship, instructional integrity, to listen without distortion, to hear objectively. It requires humility, childlike openness, without any preconceptions, any self-evaluation, no self-assertion of your own ideas. Childlike humility allows you to gradually dissolve all the temptation of distortion. For I tell you, distortion is of the darkness. It seeks disclarity, confusion, crisis, and conflict. But the darkness is not your enemy, beloved. The darkness within you is merely your potential, waiting to become of light, waiting to be stripped clean of mortal perceivings. All growth in doing the will of our Father, Mother God, it has its roots in your willingness to be humble, in your capacity to receive without distortion. I say to listen without distortion, without an immediate interpretation, to listen without any discoloration upon the ideas that would come to you, to open and advance you. To listen without discoloration is to surrender your selfhood and its interpretation. Are you of courage enough to leave behind all that's not necessary? Are you willing to leave behind you all which hinders your freedom? Even now, in this moment, as I come to speak to you, are you immediately distorting my words before they even have a prayer of reception? Are you willing to hear without distortion, leaving behind all your egoic self-assertions, self-evaluation, your self-obstructions? Freedom, beloveds, it sits at the inner doorway, and it must wait for you. O Universal Father, Eternal Mother Son, Infinite Spirit of Life, indescribable freedom, now you might sit here and say to yourself, "Oh, but Michael, I see already that I have so many inner opinions. I immediately see through the veil of my interpretations. I can't seem to receive anything in its immaculate nature. I have something, someone inside of me that wants to control and direct and conceive the plan and purpose. I have these things in me. Oh, where do I begin to find greater freedom?" I say to you, you must expose yourself psychologically. You must unveil. You must be transparent and truthful. Therein, you begin to untangle the web of your self-obstructions. Oh, and there is much self-deceit. For self-deception, everyone, it comes to you and says, "I am truth. Feel me. Hear me. I am the truth, I say." For in that self-deception, its own falsehood shall appear true to you. And what is truth and what is true shall appear like the false. And you stand right in the middle between these things, truth and falsehood. and a conflict arises. Confusion is everywhere. Yet I say to you, everyone, the Father and I work in these mysterious ways. Through your chaos and confusion, growth awaits you. Do you understand how to unlock the door and let it in? Are you willing to find the key? So there must be a balance, everyone. You must have a greater accountability, a fuller understanding, a level of cooperation, and then the infinity of life can extend to you a greater portion of herself. Much of humanity, they inflict and impose their own distortions upon the Almighty, believing they speak truth, while falsehood is at hand, believing that they know the way, while self-deception is all-pervasive. What shall you do? A dedication is needed, an intensified desire for truth, even as it unmasks your inconvenience. For you must desire truth more than you fear to be inconvenienced. For I tell you, for the mortal status of mind and persona, or the evolutionary creature, truth and freedom are extremely inconvenient. What shall you choose? You must be willing to be inconvenienced. You must be willing to be upset and irritated. You must be willing to not know and to allow things to be out of your control. But how do you do these things? Coming from the origin of evolution, I say, faith, faith, and freedom. Allow you to progress truly forever. Faith and freedom forever. Faith. What does it mean to have faith, beloveds? It means you are trusting, believing, allowing, and accepting. You are entering into this holy relationship by faith, everyone. It means you're willing to be out of control. That is, to have control not in your hands. Faith, freedom. It shapes you into a being of forever. Faith in the unseen. And the unknown. And the uncontrollable. Unseen. Unknown. Uncontrollable. Faith. Love of God, who is the author of your existence and mine, most certainly. Faith. Are you willing to give up control? Are you willing to be in a place of unknowing? For many of you believe, the more you imagine that you know and can repeat all that you think you know, you believe you're advancing. But I tell you, beloveds, in the sight of the infinite and almighty, what do you know? So today, here with me, it is an invitation. To have greater freedom. But freedom comes with a price. And paying that price, it is great opportunity to pay that price. It shapes your character unto righteousness. It elevates your personal nature unto a new creaturehood of the soul. It brings you poise and closer proximity. It positions you, beloved, for the Spirit of the one God. To blend eternally with you. Is that not what you seek? Happiness, fulfillment in the one God. For you have most certainly tried everything else, and you have failed to find that fulfillment nor happiness. For I tell you, these things are freedom. To be happy, to be fulfilled, is freedom. Breathe into your heart. I am come to restore the planetary school. It is a school that brings freedom to entire civilizations, to every individual, to worlds upon worlds. I say, the Universal Father, the person of the Son and the Spirit, offer you freedom. And certainly, so do I. Feel that freedom upon you now. Let your faith faith in the unknown but he and she who cross the bridge of faith must first open their eyes, unwax their ears, cleanse their voice, faith, freedom. Allows me to bring you into God's forever presence of joy, wellness, happiness, completeness, freedom. Remain here if you will on this Sunday, breathing in the reverberations of the almighty freedom being offered to you. Freedom. Adonai.